Okay, algebraic reasoning. Here's the review. First off, I'm going to show you how to solve this by hand, but then it's also going to just tell you, you can type this into Desmos, right? So the Desmos way, you would do like -2, 3n minus 5 plus 8n squiggle 14. So remember, if you type it in like that, it'll work. So I got 2 under parameters, n equals 2. So the answer I get here is 2. But if you're going to solve it by hand, you would distribute. -2 times 3 is -6x. -2 times -5 is +10. Bring down plus 8x equals 14. Combine like terms. -6x plus 8x is 2x. Bring down plus 10 equals 14. It's a two-step equation. Get rid of the loner, +10, by subtracting 10 from both sides. 14 minus 10 is 4, and then you divide by 2, x equals 2. Now, you can solve it by hand, or you can use Desmos. I would suggest using Desmos to check your work anyways, okay? Remember, you can't use x, you gotta use n. You can't use equal, you gotta use squiggle, okay? N squiggle. Same thing for number 2. So if I'm going to use the Desmos way, that's going to be 1.5 parentheses 2n plus 7 parentheses squiggle 4.5 tilde. So let's try it here. 1.5 2n plus 7 squiggle 4.5. And you can see I got n equals -2. So under parameters, that's my answer. -2. Cool. Now we can do it by hand. Here we go. Distribute 1.5 times 2x is 3x. 1.5 times 7 is 10.5. Okay, I get rid of the loner, minus 10.5. 3x equals, this gives you 4.5 minus 10.5 is -6. Divide by 3, and you get x equals -2. Now, remember, you can check your work with Desmos, or if you use Desmos, that's fine. Remember, it's under parameters. You got to use n and squiggle. Number 3, a student worked out at a gym continuously for 50 minutes. The graph shows the remaining percentage of the workout as a linear function of x, the time in minutes. Okay? So we got this graph, and it says which answer choice best describes the domain and range. Now the domain, remember, domain is x from left to right, and the range is y from bottom to top. So if I'm doing domain, how far to the left does this point go? It's between 0, and then it goes all the way over to the right to 50. So the x value is between 0 and 50. Okay? The domain is x values. The range is y values, and it's from bottom to top. The bottom is 0. The top is 100. So it's including the bottom 0 to 100 at the top. Now this is like the inequality notation, but I want you to notice some of these answers are just one number. That ain't it. That ain't it. But this is given to us verbally. So you take these domain and ranges and see which one matches. So A, all real numbers greater than 0 and less than or equal to 100. Is the domain between 0 and 100? No. 0 to 100. No, that's the range. They got these backwards here, so it can't be letter A. We already know it's not B and D, so it is C, because C says the domain is between 0 and 50, and the range is between 0 and 100. Number 4, what is the equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the points with a slope? If it gives you a point and a slope, you want to use point slope formula. We did a whole week on this stuff. And that formula is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Okay, so on my point, this is x1, this is y1, and this slope is my m. So let's plug stuff in here. Y minus every time. Y1 is negative 5. Negative 5. Now remember, minus a negative, this can transform into a plus sign. M, we said the slope was 2. Parentheses, always x minus. And then my x value right here is 3. Now, the way this is not the way it is on the answer choices. So we have to solve for slope-intercept, which is y by itself, y equals. So our first step is to distribute. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Bring down y plus 5. And then get rid of the lone or positive 5 by subtracting 5 on both sides. And you get 2x. Negative 6 minus 5 is negative 11. That should be J. Okay. Now, this one, what equation in slope-intercept form matches the given graph? So, remember, if you're taking a graph and trying to get an equation, you need to find the slope and the y-intercept. Slope and the y-intercept. So, first of all, how do I find the slope? If you remember, slope is like mountain, M, which is rise over run. You can literally just count it on the graph. So there's already 2 points on there. If you don't see points, you want to find grid points so you can count the rise over run. But we're going to start on the left. Remember, 2 points. I always start on the left, and I rise. This one rise down. You have to remember, down means negative. So down 2 means negative 2 over 1. So my m is negative 2 over 1, which is the same thing as just negative 2. Okay? Then I need to find my b, where I begin on the y-axis. So b on the y-axis is right here at 2. Okay, the y-intercept. So if y equals mx plus b, my m is negative 2. My b is positive 2. Negative 2x plus 2. Cool. On this table, we want to find the domain and range of the data set. Scratch out this part. The domain and range of the data set. Well, the domain is x, the range is y, so my domain should be all the x values in order. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The range should be all my y values in order. Now remember, in order means least to greatest. 20, 30, 40, 50. All right, so which ones match? Domain No, that's not 1, 2, 3, 4. Range, no, that's not the range. Domain 1, 2, 3, 4, that's great. And then 20, 30, 40, 50, that's great. So it should be 3 and 4. So the one that says 3 and 4 is B. All right, number 7. All right, the shirt company charges $10 setup fee plus $4.50 for each shirt. Okay, think of this for like a per each shirt. Okay, this is like when we did those word problems. And if we have word problems with one item, which is what? Shirts, then we know it's going to be y equals mx plus b. M is going to be the changing rate of changing one, which is going to be per shirt. And then the beginning, where I begin, okay, a set up is where you begin at 10. So y equals m 450 x plus that beginning $10. So H is actually a distractor because of that minus sign. G is all wrong, but F is correct. Number 8, the equation of a line with a slope of 6 and a y-intercept of 7. What is the equation of the line with a slope of 6 that has an intercept of 7? Ha ha ha. All right, anyways. So slope is m, y-intercept is b. So hopefully you see that's mx plus b. Y equals 6, x plus 7, b. All right, number 9. Noel has $580 in his crypto savings account, but plans to withdraw $67 each month to buy Dallas Cowboys merchandise. Which function represents the balance of his savings account B after X months without considering other withdrawals? All right, so this is another one of those word problems, right? We got one thing we're talking about, and it's money, okay? Money in the bank, one item. So let's think about this. That's going to be y equals mx plus b. The withdrawing each is like a per. That's the changing amount. That makes this the m. And what he started with, he has currently, what he began with is your b value. Now, the only thing you got to please be careful with, he begins with a positive amount of 580, right? But if you withdraw, you gotta think, withdraw. What kind of value is that? That means it's going to be a negative value. Withdrawing is negative subtraction. So my slope, we said, is 67, but it's negative 67x plus b. What I started with, I began with 580 crypto dollars or whatever. Now, the thing about this is you don't want to get like confused here. The answer is not B because it's missing the negative sign. It's not B. Okay. Now C is wrong because there's a squared. D is wrong because the X is in the exponent. That's quadratic and exponential. So I want you to notice, okay, first of all, instead of Y, I'm supposed to use B, right? But you should know the commutative property. You can switch the order of these things. You'd start off with 580 and subtract 67x minus 67x. That would be answer A. So again, if you withdraw $6-7 every month, then that's what you'll get. All right, number 10. The graph of the linear function passes through points 6, 7, and 0, -1. Okay, you can make a nice straight line through those 2 points. Okay, and then answer these questions. The 0 of k, this is line k, is -1. Now 0 is an x-intercept, and it's not here at -1, so that's not it. Is the y-intercept -1? Yes, that's great. Is the slope of the graph -4/3? So let's do the slope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8/6 is 4/3, but it's not negative. And does the graph of k pass through -6, -7? -6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like it could. Hmm. Well, if you make a nice straight line, it goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so my line is actually going to pass down here. Okay, and you can see -6, -7 is not going to be on that line K. Too high. So the answer is J. That is your review. Your test is just as many questions, just like this tomorrow. So make sure you study this and be ready for your test.